Here we are, the third week of January 2018 already. How are those New Year's resolutions coming along? How is it that we can be so good at setting and achieving our goals in every area of our life, but yet continue to struggle over and over again when it comes to our health-related goals? Hey everybody, Aaron Wenzel here, and I am the host of the Concierge Medicine Show, where we bring you real conversations that you need to be having with your physician in 30 minutes or less. This week, welcome to episode 12, where it's going to be all about goal setting around health-related issues. If you're like most, you're pretty much successful at every area of your life, except probably some lingering health-related issues. Maybe for you, it's an unhealthy weight. Maybe it's diabetes or high blood pressure, cholesterol, fatigue. Maybe it's mismanaged stress or a lack of sleep. But likely it's something, and it's that same something that lingers each and every year. But how can this be? How is it that a successful person like yourself, who has a thriving business likely, has a family and a thriving interpersonal life, can struggle mightily with something as trivial seemingly as, say, weight or sleep? The answer is actually quite simple. And the truth is that you already know everything there is to know about goal setting. That's how you've become successful in the first place. What I'm going to show you today is that by applying these same principles to your health, you can have the healthiest year ever in 2018. First of all, I really want to discuss a question that I have for you, and that is, what is it that determines whether something happens or doesn't happen in your life at all? Have you ever thought about that? The truth is, we only have time in our life for things that are musts. In other words, if something is just a should, it never makes it on our day-to-day activity. You could want to have better health or want to be a better parent, husband, father. These are all things you should do, but should is never enough. You've got to make things must. And the things that you do every day are things that you've made a must. I also believe that we have in our life that which we tolerate, which is just another way of saying that the things that are in your life are things that you're allowing in your life, and that you have the power to both create the things you experience in your life and also the power to take out things that are taking away from you in life. So then, how is it that you already properly goal set? I mean, I've already mentioned that, clearly you wouldn't be successful if you didn't know how to set and achieve goals. But I want to look at this through a very strategic, organized way of goal setting. You might have a different variation of this that you use on a regular basis for goal setting. I tend to like to teach goal setting using the acronym SMART goal setting. And these are this is an acronym. S in SMART stands for specific. I firmly believe that clarity is power. Our brains are designed to crave simplicity and clarity, and complexity is the enemy of execution. So having a very specific goal in mind is step one of any goal that you ever set for yourself. And it's actually probably the most important variable in goal setting is having a specific desired outcome already identified. The second step of SMART goals is having it be measurable. This is an often overlooked step in areas of your life that goals are struggling to be met. There's an old adage that says, I believe it goes something like, that which measured gets managed. So it's very important to have specific milestone and measurements that you are tracking to measure your success. The third step is to have for good goal setting is to make it achievable. In other words, if you ever watch a sporting event, you'll notice that there's this thing called momentum that is so very real. And it seems like all the momentum might be going one way, and then all of a sudden the momentum will shift, and it's just a matter of a couple of quick wins that can switch the entire tide. And momentum is probably one of the most important variables in goal achieving and breakthrough. And one of the ways that we capture momentum is making goals that are achievable. We'll talk more about what this means in an actual practical strategy as we get a little bit later in the show. But continuing on, the fourth step is to make them realistic. Again, continuing this idea of momentum, you want achievable goals. You also want them to be realistic so that you can capture quick wins. So next to achievable, reasonable goals, realistic goals are very, very important for getting those quick wins. And the last step is to give yourself a time. In other words, a goal without a time frame is just an idea. It's a thought. It's a wish. You've got to put timelines on these things or they just don't get done. We all need accountability, and setting a time limit to specific goals can sometimes be the difference of achieving or not achieving the goal that's being set forth. And, I can't help but see the irony in all this. The funny thing is, like, you already know how to do this, right? If you and I were to have a discussion around any topic in your life where you're succeeding, you would teach me how to goal set, right? And there are many areas of my life that I struggle, and there are probably areas that you're really good at. And if I was asking you to coach me, you would very simply deploy this same strategy against me. Look, Dr. Wenzel, you got to have smart goals, And so I just feel like that's really ironic. And I hope that it's empowering to you as we kind of embark on this new year. I really believe that if you make your health a must and you get specific with these goals, that you can move the needle in a massive way this year to achieving the healthiest version of you possible. And so what does this look like? We have this idea about goal setting. We just kind of walk through, but what does that mean? Like step by step. Number one, you got to know your target. Knowing your target is a desired outcome. It's that being specific for a smart goal. Clarity is power. If you've spent any time with me, you know I'm a why guy. I love why. I'm not so much as interested in the what as I am the why. But the second step to being powerful at decision making is understanding why what you are clear on is a must. Knowing your whys are so important. Your why provides you with purpose, and purpose gives you the drive to complete. I think that's very, very critical. Once you have clarity on a goal and you have your reasons why it's a must, the next step is always to take massive action. And when you look at life, even at maybe even some of your friends or your family, even if you're not even looking at your own life for areas that maybe you're struggling, you can see where people that you love and care about the most, areas where they struggle. And it's oftentimes not a lack of knowledge, right? They know why it's important, but they do not take action. And that simple step of taking action it's the game. And did you know of all of the reasons that somebody would not take action, there's one reason that is overwhelmingly in a landslide, the most common reason people do not take action, and it's fear. And of all of the things you could be afraid of, fear of failure is the number one culprit for stopping action taking, which by definition then prevents you from achieving goal. And I really believe when it comes to health related issues, there is a lot of fear around maybe what you'll find, maybe around fear of not being able to actually ever get control or get insight. But we've got to strip away those fears because most of them are not true and not even real. And if we can eliminate that fear factor, we can go right into taking action towards our health. The next step is knowing what's working. It's about being acutely aware of what you do that is working and doing more of that. So in other words, if your goal is to reverse your diabetes this year, and you recognize that if I just fix my diet, I move the needle massively. You do that early and often, get quick wins, and you realize that it's working. The idea here is that you keep doing that. You don't say, well, that was nice, now I'm going to try a new diet. No, you stick to what's working. But the back end of that is the next and last step, which is recognize what doesn't work and don't continue to do things that don't work. That's insanity. Repeating behavior, expecting a different outcome is the definition of insanity. And I want for you to believe that breakthrough is a must and that you are willing to iterate and change and try new strategy over and over and over and over until when? Until you reach your goal. Again, that's what you did professionally. You didn't let one test slip you up. You didn't let one boss slip you up. You didn't let one nasty email or one coworker. You made a way or you found a way. I just want you to do that for your health as well. So here are the 4 conversations that I really would like you to have with your physician about a plan for 2018 being your best year ever. And so question number 1 is around setting the actual goal. I don't know what that is for you, but it's really important that we get clear. Again, maybe it's reversing diabetes. Maybe it's finally putting a stake in the ground and saying, I'm going to stop ignoring my borderline diabetes, my borderline high blood pressure, the fact that I haven't been to the doctor in 8 years and I know I probably have some cholesterol problems. I need to lose a little bit of weight. Maybe it's I need to quit smoking. Maybe I want to come off my cholesterol medicine. Maybe I want to feel like I was 25 again. I don't know what it is for you, but thinking about this for you, becoming very clear, and then having this conversation with your doctor is going to be really, really important because they're going to be a critical piece of the solution or the strategy, actually, as we march out 2018 towards major breakthrough in health. The second conversation with your doctor is around medication that you likely should be taking but are not. And again, maybe it's treating that diabetes finally. Just owning the fact that your current state of health does not represent your truest, healthiest self, and that in order to right the ship, you need some medication to help treat underlying problems like metabolic syndrome. If you've been with us for a while, you know all about metabolic syndrome. If you are new to us, please refer back to some previous episodes where we talk about insulin resistance and diabetes and metabolic syndrome, as I firmly believe that it is the greatest health epidemic on the planet, and nothing more significant over the next 20 years than addressing this phenomena called metabolic syndrome. The third conversation I'd like you to have it is about medicines, but maybe not what you would think. Maybe there are some medications that you need to come off of in order to achieve your health breakthrough. I know this might sound strange, but most people that I experience as clients, as new clients, are in some ways grossly over-medicated, while at the same time being undertreated for other things. And it turns out that there are several medications that you could be on that might be contributing to your inability to get breakthrough. There are some medications that affect you physiologically that inhibit proper fitness. There are some medications that make you drowsy. There are some medications that affect thinking and memory. There are some medications that affect creativity and performance. And I would suggest to you that you if you're on medication and you think that maybe some of these medicines need to come off, because honestly, I see people all the time as new clients and I say, hey, I'm noticing that you're on this medication. How long have you been on this? They'll tell me some period of time. And I'll say, do you know why you're on that medication? And they'll say, no, somebody put me on it some years ago and I just continue to take it. It's likely if you take a list of medications every day and you haven't had any medication adjustments in years, that you and your physician really need to do a deep dive on every medication. What am I on? Why am I on it? Do I need to be on it? This is really, really important. So coming off medications is something that may be an integral part of your strategy in 2018 to becoming healthier. And frankly, even if you're not on medications that you need to come off of, as you begin to get breakthrough, whether it's lowering your cholesterol, improving your thyroid, reducing your weight, reducing your diabetes, you're going to need reduction in those medications. You will not need that continued dosage if you're not the same level of disease. So this is an active, the goals are very proactive, but the actual application of the strategy is very active. Means you're very involved, and oftentimes you need to be coming off of these medicines as you get healthier. And I want that for you. The last conversation is around safety concerns before you actually press go on these strategies for 2018 being your healthiest year. And most of those are around any behavioral changes that you're going to make, like exercise. Again, there are medications that can inhibit your ability to get optimal performance while exercising, but they may be medicines that you need to be on. If that's the case, then we really need to think long and hard about the right suggestion for you around fitness. The only way there isn't just one way to get fitness. It's not just the gym, right? There are other ways that you can increase activity and increase your metabolism and burn excess calories and fat that don't involve going to the gym. I love the gym, but if you're 400 pounds or a horrible diabetic or on 6 blood pressure medicines that control your heart rate, it's going to be really hard in the gym. The good news is there are many, many ways to achieve your fitness goals that don't involve the gym. So let's just make sure that you're safe enough for the gym. Let's make sure your heart can tolerate the cardiovascular output that you're going to be pursuing, the weight training, etc. Just make sure it's safe. So really, medications and any pre-existing diseases that you may have, just really making sure that safety is priority as you're pursuing this year's goals. So listen, here are the big take-home points. Number one, you already know how to win. You are a winner. And if you're like every one of my private clients, you are absolutely succeeding at every area of your life, except health, which is why you're here, which is why I'm here. I want that success for you too. And I'm here to tell you that you already know how to win. You already know how to goal set. And if I can just be the one to give you permission to deploy those same winning strategies that you use over and over again all throughout your life towards your health, I want to be that for you. You deserve massive breakthrough in your health in 2018. This is your year, and I want that for you. Listen, I hope you enjoyed the show. Please leave your comments and questions. I love to engage with you. The community means the world to me, and your comments really help me understand what is bringing the most value to you and what you'd like to hear more of. Please share this with anybody you think would find it valuable this new year. And as always, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed or left a review on either iTunes or on our YouTube channel. And until our paths meet again, I hope that you have a powerful day. Go get them this week. Take care. Hey everybody, thanks again for watching the show. I'm sure it goes without saying, but I feel compelled to share with you. Obviously, I want to help as many people as possible. But before you make any medical changes, please consult with your physician. Don't do any of this on your own. You don't want to put yourself in any harm's way. And again, thanks a bunch for watching the show. If you have any questions or comments, again, please leave them and we'll get back to you. Take care.